welcome back to Those Once Loyal. Today we're going to be doing a chapter approved mission, Vital Intelligence, and me and Will, this is Will.
Hi.
We're practicing for a Mono Codex 1800 point tournament coming
2000
up.
point.
2000 point. So, very interesting. I'm not really used to doing the Mono Codex thing.
Neither am I. No one is.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
Not
is.
anymore.
So this is going to be...
It's old school.
Yeah, it's very old school. So, yeah, we're going to show the armies in the battlefield. We'll be right back. And here are the two armies. It's going to be a battalion and a spearhead of Deathwatch versus... What do we got here?
We've got a battalion, a super heavy auxiliary, and a spearhead of all Iyanden Craftworld Eldar.
Love it. So who's the warlord?
The warlord is the Farseer over here with a singing spear, and I'll be using Fortune and Doom as his powers, and he has the warlord trait Seer of the Shifting Vector,
nice.
Which gives him a reroll once per battle round of a huge list of possible things to reroll. Usually I use them for psychic tests, but nice. They can use other things like saves and such.
Awesome.
And so to round out the battalion, I've got 2 units of Rangers, 1 unit of 6, and 1 unit of 7.
Nice.
And a unit of 20 Guardians with 2 platforms with Eldari missile launchers.
Oh, I recognize those.
And let's see, so in the flyer roll, we've got a Hemlock Wraith Fighter, and a unit of 5 Wraith Blades with axes and shields.
Nice.
And a Wave Serpent with twin Eldari missile launchers.
Sweet.
And a Shuriken Cannon. For the Spearhead, I've got, and a Spirit Seer. And the Spirit Seer has relics.
Yeah, yeah.
The Warlord has Valcho's Wing, which allows him to fly and move 12 inches. The Spirit Seer has the Citronome of Iyanden, which you can pop once for battle, and if you pop it, then all Wraith units within 6 inches double their attacks. But any unit that benefited from it also takes D3 mortal wounds after the fight phase is over.
Right.
Okay, so to round out the Spearhead, I've got heading it up another Spirit Seer, one of the new plastic ones.
Nice. And
a Wraith Lord with a sword, 2 flamers, and 2 shuriken cannons. And his bigger brother, well, this is the super heavy auxiliary, his bigger brother, a Wraith Knight with sword and board and 2 star cannons.
Love it.
And I've got a Fire Prism with shuriken cannon and the usual Fire Prism goodness. And all my vehicles have both Spirit Stones and Crystal Targeting Matrix.
Nice.
And finally, a single walker with 2 shuriken cannons to finish up my spearhead, and he will be my scout.
Nice, cool.
And that's it. That
rules. Okay, so, and over here, the forces of the Imperium are going to get blasted, but that's okay. So, I'm running a battalion led off by the Watchmaster and this captain with a bolter and Thunderhammer. First one is 5 dudes, Storm Vets, Storm Bolter, Storm Shield, a Infernus heavy bolter, a Vanguard veteran, frag cannon, 2 Terminators, one with power sword, power axe, and then basically the same thing in the other one, only the Terminator, and this one has a power fist and power maul, and both of these guys have frag cannons. Over here I've got 6 intercessors, one with power sword, the Sergeant's got a power sword, and all of them have assault bolters, 1 of the Inceptors, and 3 aggressors. And also a Corvus Blackstar, just because I had the points laying around, but we usually know how fast these guys go down in the first turn, so that's cool. And a Leviathan Dreadnought, man, what's this guy called? A Whirlwind Helios. He's a Forge World model, wink wink. And some Hellblasters led off by a Librarian with Veil of Time and Null Zone, and that's going to be a Spearhead. The Watchmaster's going to have the Lord of Hidden Knowledge, Warlord trait, and Bane Bolts of Erixia as his relic, and I'm paying an extra command point to give the captain the Beacon Angelus. And I think that's about it. So we'll see how fast these guys get blown off the table. We'll be right back with the deployment and the mission breakdown and all that jazz. And here is the battlefield. So we rolled up for the search and destroy deployment zone. So we got the 2 quarters, 1 and 1, and a 9-inch space in the middle. The objectives for this mission, vital intelligence, there's 5 objectives on the board. 1, 2, 3, 1 back in that corner, 1 back in that corner, just kind of all equally placed. The person who gets the first turn has to roll for which one is the priority mission on every turn, and that one is worth 2 points. If you roll a 6, all of them become activated, and all of them are worth 2 points. But other than that, they're all just worth 1 at the same time. So I lost the roll-off and had to deploy my entire army first over here. So we got all the Hellblasters and a captain, Intercessor squad kind of out in the open. Corvus Blackstar is just sitting here empty because it's probably going to get blown up at the first turn. Watchmaster's back over here somewhere, right there. And then my Forge World Whirlwind is right there on the edge of the board. And then over here, what do we got?
So we've got the Wraith Knight, his little brother, the Wraith Lord, a Wave Serpent with the Wraith Blades and 2 Spirit Seers, and the Farseer down there, all chilling behind this building.
Love it.
A little bit further back, we have a lone scouting Warwalker. I've got a unit of Rangers holding this objective and sitting behind the building. I've got a Fire Prism.
Nice.
And then I've got the Hemlock on standby back here.
All the way in the back corner.
And
this is the Psyker plane, right?
Yes, the Psyker plane.
Man, I love the Psyker plane.
And I've got a unit of 7 Rangers in Deep Strike and a unit of 20 Guardians in Deep Strike.
Oh, shit. And, my Deep Striking units are over here. The 2 veteran squads and this Leviathan. I paid command points to Deep Strike, and my Librarian is also Deep Striking. So as it stands right now, I set up all my stuff first, and I'm going first. Unless Will wants to seize the initiative.
I'm going to attempt to seize.
Attempt to seize on a 6.
And I'm going to fail.
And he fails. So I'm going first. I don't really know if that's a good thing or not. Not really sure. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't think any of my stuff's in range. But yeah, we will come back to you after turn 1 for the Deathwatch, I suppose. And with that, the Deathwatch movement is complete. Not really much happened. This guy stood still. Watchmaster kind of moved into this bubble. These guys moved into advance since they can do that without penalty. Just kind of try to get this objective later on. I rolled a 3, though, for the priority objective, so I will be getting 2 points if I can hold this by the end of the battle round. These Hellblasters just kind of shifted up to get in range of his knight, and my Corvus Blackstar flew over here in a heroic attempt to try to shoot something for a turn and get shot out of the sky, so that's going to be interesting. So yeah, that's that. We'll be back with the shooting phase, or psychic phase, if there is one. Nope, there won't be, so we'll be back with the shooting phase. And Deathwatch shooting is done, and there's no charges. So the Corvus Blackstar unloaded its missiles into the Hemlock and did 1 damage, but then he ignored it with a Spirit Stone. The Assault Cannons and the Hurricane Bolters unloaded on these Rangers over here. Took most of them out, but then he used Insane Bravery to keep 1 guy from running away.
Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger. The Hellblasters unloaded on this knight and took 2 damage off of it. And then the last thing was the Helios unloaded onto the Fire Prism and took 2 damage off of him. So at this point, there's no first strike for me, so I'm going to be denied on that. But I will get 2 if I can keep my guys alive on that objective over there. So we'll see how turn 1 goes at the end of turn 1.
If they stay there by the end of the round.
Yeah, if they stay there by the end of the round.
Yeah, I might have some magic Eldar stuff. Just blow them off.
There's always some magic Eldar stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we'll be back with turn 1 for the Craftworld Eldar. What am I talking about?
For the Eldar movement phase, my 2 Wraith guys, Big Brother and Little Brother, are coming around the side of the building to engage. The Wraith Serpent hopped over the building to take this objective. The Hemlock flies over here to engage with the Corvus Blackstar. The Fire Prism moves in for a better shot and to double up on this objective, while the Lone Ranger jumps behind a building and hides.
Oh, so brave. He is insanely brave all of a sudden.
And meanwhile, the scout scouted over to this objective where he will sit on it.
Nice. Cool.
And that's it for my movement phase.
Love it.
Turn 1.
So we'll come back with the psychic phase.
Yep,
here we go. Go ahead.
So for my psychic phase, the Hemlock casts Jinx on the Corvus to give him -1 to all of his saving throws. The Farseer, who's hiding in this building over here, casts Doom on the Corvus, so I'll reroll all wounds on him.
Really wants him dead.
And Fortune on the Wraith Knight to give him a 5-up feel no pain.
Love it. Cool. So we will come back to you after a very brutal shooting phase for the Craftworld Eldar.
All right, so it took everything I had, but after all of my shooting, I managed to destroy his Corvus Blackstar. And that's it. And then I end up with 3 points from objectives and 1 point from first strike.
Yep.
And Ryan has 2 points for
holding this objective over here. Yeah. So that leaves me at 2 total to Will's 4. So let's see if I can scrape this back. It's not looking so good, but this is turn 2, so I can deep strike some guys with some shields and some dreadnoughts and all that fun stuff. So we'll come back to you with movement for the Deathwatch. Deathwatch movement and psychic phase have actually been completed at the same time to make everything easier. So all these dudes advanced over this way since they don't get a penalty from it to get on that objective. So I've moved and advanced these guys over here down to this objective. The Watchmaster's kind of strung between like both these units to buff them up, even though they can't shoot now. This guy just kind of stood still over here. I got a vet squad that came in deep strike. Just kind of next to this wave serpent. My captain with the bolter and thunderhammer came off the tower over here. The relic leviathan dreadnought over here came down with the librarian, and he got Veil of Time onto himself but failed Null's Own. And over here, way in the back, my other veteran squad came in exactly 9 inches away from the ranger behind that building and 9 inches away from the scout to try to get a little closer to some objectives if they can. So yeah, that's the movement and psychic. We'll be back to you with the shooting phase when that's done, and the priority objective is right here in the center. We rolled a 1 for it. So we'll be back in a minute. Over here, we try to just plink off a bunch of wounds off of the knight with a hail of stormbolter shots and frag cannon shots and brought him down to 15. The Leviathan whiffed incredibly hard. He didn't hit with a single thing, actually, which is very disappointing. All these guys put their shots into the knight and didn't really do anything either. And all these guys couldn't shoot. The Watchmaster tried to shoot into the knight and missed, or didn't fail to wound. And all the vets over here split fire. The heavy weapons went into the fire prism and took off 5 wounds, right?
It took off. It
took
brought him down
wounds.
to 5.
Gotcha. And then all the stormbolter shots split over here and took out this. Remind me the name again. Sorry.
Walker. Warwalker.
Yeah, Warwalker. So that's where we're at for that. So now we're into the charge phase. So we'll come back to you after that's done. The Leviathan got into both of these. Didn't actually take any damage on the way in. And then the Librarian, even with a successful reroll, could not get in there, which is kind of a shame, but now he won't get stopped to death, so maybe that's a good thing. The Captain and the Vets all got like fiery rolls into this Wave Serpent over here. And back in the corner, I made another fiery charge over here into this guy and this Fire Prism. So we will come back to you after all these guys activate and swing and all that. So the end of the fight phase for the Deathwatch, all these guys just shifted in over here and put most of their attacks into the Wave Serpent and a few attacks into this Ranger and actually missed him. I probably should have prioritized killing that guy, but that's okay. Over here, the Leviathan and the Knights traded blows. Only 1 wound got taken off of this guy. I don't even think, I didn't even take a wound off the Knight, did I? Yeah, you made your saves on that. So that was a big standstill almost over there. All these attacks over here got him down to 6 wounds or took 6 wounds off?
Okay, it's wounds remaining. So
yeah, wounds remaining. So he's at 6.
6 wounds remaining.
So he's at 6 with that's the combined efforts of that captain and all these guys attacking in. And that's it. None of the retaliatory strikes really did much on either side. So we will come back to you with turn 2 for the Craftworld Eldar.
My turn 2 movement phase. I've dropped in these Rangers to retake the objective that the Warwalker was blown off of. My Fire Prism fell back out of the mob of Deathwatch and got shot up, and he's down to 1 wound. Yeah,
I did the intercepting volley, so Eldari craft, ending a movement with fly next to me. I got to just shoot him for 2 command points.
And my Ranger's hanging out, still the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger, man.
These guys are staying in combat. One of my Spirit Seers The one with the citronome of Iyanden popped out of the wave serpent before it flew over to parts remote, and ran over here, and I used the guided wraith sight stratagem to extend his spirit mark to 12 inches and to allow reroll all misses by wraith units. Meanwhile, the Hemlock flies over here to say hi to this jetpack fellow here. 20 Guardians with 2 missile platforms just dropped in to say hi.
Oh, look at that. Oh, they're just going to blow all these guys up to smithereens. What a bummer.
And that is it for now.
That is it. So we'll come back to you with the psychic phase.
All right, so my Spirit Seer tried to jinx the Leviathan, but he managed to deny the jinx with his Librarian. My Farseer got a...
double one?
Yeah, double one, which I re-rolled, but still failed anyway. Failed to doom the Leviathan, but did succeed in fortuning the Wraith Knight.
Yeah, that's good.
And the Hemlock smote the Librarian for 1 mortal wound.
Down to 3. So that is the end of the psychic phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase.
Fire Prism ineffectually shot into the air and did nothing because it is heavily wounded.
Yeah.
These guys stayed in combat. The Spirit Seer watched.
He watched. He onlooked.
The Hemlock melted the Librarian, and the Serpent, the Wave Serpent, popped its shield and did what, a mortal wound?
Just 1 mortal wound. Yeah.
1 mortal wound
so
to these guys.
Took on a Terminator and then shot into the squad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just took out another. The rest of the other Terminator made pretty good saves there.
Yeah. The Guardians popped in and killed 3 Primaris Marines and shot their missiles into the air and did nothing.
Yeah, so that is shooting. So we'll come back to you. Charging? Any charges?
All right, so the Spirit Seer popped the Citronome of Iyanden, which doubled the attacks of both of these units, and they took a handful of 2 mortal wounds each as a result of that. But after all the attacks, after 31 hits on this guy, he is only down to what?
3 wounds.
3 wounds. So he is still alive.
He's still kicking somehow. And then the only other one we had was over here.
Yeah, and then
did nothing. Nothing really happened to the tank. And then I ran one guy over under my treads.
But it was enough to take the objective, and that's what I wanted him to do.
That's all I needed to do. So yeah, that is it. So scoring for this round, I get the bonus one in the center. So I get 2 for that one. 1 over here, and that's it for me. So I get 3, and he's got 1 over there. He actually is still getting the 1 back in the corner over there, and this one. So 3 and 3 on this round. So the total score right now is at 7-5. So we'll come back for turn 3 and the Deathwatch movement. All right, movement for the Deathwatch on turn 1. These guys just kind of shifted over here to not be completely shot up by these guys. The jetpack dude just kind of jumped over the wall to get that objective and get like 0.0 chance of failing a charge. Over here, my Gibbed Leviathan only got to go back 3 inches. I flew my Inceptor over these guys. The Inceptor, the aggressor stood still, and then one of the intercessors moved onto this objective. My Watchmaster over here just shifted over to kind of buff this little bubble. These guys came off cover over here and got it within 6 inches of this and just within 3 inches of that. And my Whirlwind just fell back out of combat. And my captain over here in the building just flew up here to get a 0% chance of failing that charge. And these guys just kind of like scooted over to get more bodies on the objective, but kind of just kept this like weird little bubble wrap thing I got going on. We re-rolled the priority objective and it was 1 again, so this one is the prior objective again for this round. So we will come back to you after shooting, because there's no psychic, for the Deathwatch. End of shooting phase for Deathwatch is done. Kind of had to do a janky like split fire thing over here, but all the Stormbolters went into those guys, took out 3 of them. The heavy frag cannons went into this guy, did 1 wound? Did 3 wounds into that guy, right? 2 damage apiece. So, and then all this stuff over here just unloaded onto these Guardians and just like kind of evaporated them, because it was the aggressors firing twice and all these guys hitting on 3s, rolling everything, winning on 2s, bound to happen.
And I didn't have a command point left to cast use Celestial Shield on the Guardians, so I couldn't give them a 4.
And that would have definitely kept them alive a lot easier. And over here, all these guys just unloaded into this fire prism and took it out. My captain over here did 2 shots with Hellfire rounds into the Farseer? Spirit Seer. And this guy fell back, so he couldn't shoot. So now we're going to get into the charge phase, so we'll come back in a second. And the charging is complete over here. I charged this guy out of line of sight with my kill team of vets. They just kind of strung through the building into him. My captain did like a 0-inch charge into the Farseer and got in. And all these guys just mobbed up on this poor this poor ranger. He's gonna feel the hurt in a second. So that is the charges. We'll come back to you after fighting. And as expected, this poor innocent ranger has been stomped to death. But over here, the captain went in and did just exactly 6 damage to the Farseer and took him out. These veterans got as close as they could to get a few attacks in and took this Spirit Seer
down to 1.
And he attacked back and killed my Terminator. So that is that for the combat phase. We will come back to you with movement for turn 3, right? Turn 3.
Right, so it's my movement phase. I have moved the Wraith Knight over here to be kind of equidistant between these 2 units to give me some choice. I moved the Wraith Lord over here to possibly engage with these guys. Or these guys, depending on how I feel at the moment.
Yeah.
Spirit Seer is just going to stay put to keep this unit in close combat. The Wraith Blades and another Spirit Seer just popped out of the Wave Serpent, and the Wave Serpent made a beeline for the Whirlwind, while the Hemlock is flown over, is going to attempt to assassinate his Warlord.
And that's that. So we'll come back to you with the psychic phase.
The Spirit Seer that was in close combat with these guys decided to just jinx the squad that he's hanging out with.
Probably a good call.
And the Spirit Seer over there cast Enhance on the Wraith Blades, so they'll be +1 to hit in the fight phase.
Yeah, and then over here.
And the Hemlock smote the Warlord for a big fat 1 mortal wound.
So that is
that is it for the psychic phase.
So yeah, we'll come back to you after the shooting phase.
So the shooting phase, this our Wraith Lord opened up with 2 flamers and 2 shuriken cannons and killed how many?
A Terminator.
A Terminator.
Yeah.
He shot with a pistol, did nothing. He shot with a pistol.
Well, he couldn't shoot with a pistol.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, he couldn't shoot because he had advanced. And Wraith Knight fired star cannons and killed another Terminator.
Just one guy with a shield. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Over here, fired plasma missiles at these guys. I think 1 wound was taken. The shuriken, they actually made the save. The shuriken. The shuriken cannon
is the thing that took the wound off, which is kind of nuts. So that's about it for shooting.
That's it, and the Hemlock did nothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the Rangers over here also tried to fire into my captain and failed to take a wound off. So that is that. So we'll come back to you with the charge phase.
So a lot of charges. We charged the Wraith Lord into this unit of Deathwatch. He took a couple wounds going in, and then we doubled up on him with the Wraith Knight. And over here, the Wraith Blades charged this unit in the butt. And back here, the Wave Serpent charged the 2-man unit of plasma guys and the Whirlwind.
Gotcha. And then over here, I just heroically intervened my captain into this combat, and that's it. So we'll come back to you after the fight phase.
So after all his stomping, the Wraith Knight killed what, 1 guy?
2 guys.
2 guys.
Yeah.
And the Wraith Lord, did he do anything? I think he killed 1 guy.
Yeah, I think he killed 1 guy too. So I think 3 total out of that one.
Yeah. And the Wraith Knight took took a wound or 2.
Yeah, it was like a Terminator took a wound, and then
and then the
so
Wraith Lord took
down to 4, and he's down to 12.
Yeah.
Captain heroically intervened into the Psyker over here and just fucking splattered him with a hammer. Over here, these guys just fucking you should lube me up before these guys come in. Seriously, I made like a handful of 2-up saves on my 3-up invols, and just like splattered my veterans over here, and then locked them up. Didn't even do any damage in retaliation.
But yet, still could not take the objective due to OBSEC.
Yep. So I still get the objective bonus on that one too. Over here, a little bit of a standstill.
So the Wave Serpent gutted one of the Primaris Marines.
Yeah, just like ran into him super hard with a pointy end.
But then he got rammed by a whirlwind, took a point.
Just like backed into him or something, and took 2 wounds off of him. So that's a little weird. But yeah, that's where we're standing now. So as it stands point-wise, we're at... So I go up to 10 for the bonus and having more objectives, and he goes up to 8 for having 1 in the back corner of those Rangers. So it's still swinging back and forth really closely, but this is only turn 3. He's got Wraith Blades on the field now, and Wave Serpent still, and a big-ass fucking Knight. So we're going to see how it goes. Deathwatch turn 4 shooting, and movement, and all the other stuff. So Deathwatch movement is done. These guys have formed an ultimate conga line over here. And are just out of 1 inch of these guys, and still on this objective. Super corny Deathwatch tactics. The captain over here moved his 12 towards these Rangers, and then used the Beacon Angelus to teleport this unit that was locked in combat over here. Not really going to do much, but whatever. Over here, these guys stood still so you can have maximum firepower. The Watchmaster stood still. This guy just backed out. Or no, he stayed in combat. And then this guy just backed out of combat. I think that's it. There's not really much left. The Leviathan Dreadnought limped over to get a look at a Knight, so that's about it. So we'll come back to you after the shooting phase for the Deathwatch. And also, I rolled a 1 for the 3rd time for this objective, so this is the priority objective. I think Will's going to get it this time, because there's no way I'm getting a bunch of Wraith Blades off that thing. So now we'll come back to you.
Trying your luck with fighting them.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just a bunch of 3-up saves. Yeah, why not? So we'll come back to you after Deathwatch shooting. So for shooting for the Deathwatch, these guys just kind of split fire back and forth here. I think I only managed to take 1 wound off this guy, or no wounds off that guy, actually, and got this guy down to 3. I teleported those guys out, but I was a little confused as to whether they could shoot, because they didn't technically fall back. They just teleported away with a relic, but we just rolled for it, and we decided that they're not going to do it this time. The captain shot into these Rangers and took 1 out?
Yes.
Yeah, took 1 out. These guys all just unloaded onto the Hemlock and got him down to 4 wounds. The Watchmaster did the same and actually missed, even with a reroll. Pretty pathetic.
Of course, the flyer still, because it's Iyanden, still counts as having 8 wounds, so is unaffected.
Exactly. And the Leviathan, being gimped, just totally whiffed all the shots into both these guys. So that is that. So we'll come back to you with the charge phase. So starting over here for the charge phase, made a really bright idea to charge this Hemlock, and I forgot that he had 2 D3.
Had Soul Flamers.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I wish I knew that before I did it. So 4 intercessors died. Pretty cool. But the flying guy is going to be able to punch him a little bit. My Watchmaster charged in over here. My Leviathan failed a charge over here. I was going to see if I could go over there, maybe smack those guys around a little bit, get cut in half and explode on them, and maybe kill them. These guys are just going to stay still because they're probably just going to get shot to death or cut in half if I charge in. My captain made a double 6 charge into these guys, so he's going to fucking beat them up a little bit. So that is that. We'll come back to you after the fight phase is done. End of the fight phase, the Watchmaster over here only got 2 wounds off, right? Only got 2 wounds off of you, right?
It reduced him from 3 wounds to 1.
Yeah, cool. So, and then over here, this was incredibly futile. My guy, he just punched it in the face for 2 attacks and did nothing because he actually absolutely missed. And my Hellblaster just kind of bonked this thing with a plasma gun and didn't do anything. Over here, my captain just like dropped Thor's hammer on these guys and just like completely splatterized them. So that is all for the fight phase and for my turn. So now we're on to turn 4 for the Eldar.
All right, movement phase. My Wraith Knight just moseyed over here to be kind of equidistant between these two units to give him choice on what to maybe charge this turn. Wraith Lord stayed put. The Hemlock made a beeline all the way here because he's going to try to kill this guy. The Spirit Seer is following up, because he's also going to try to kill this guy with mine bullets. The wraith blades are just going to stay on that objective.
It's a good idea.
And the wave serpent pulled out of close combat, so you can possibly harass the wave, maybe shoot some ineffectual shots out and harass this whirlwind.
Yeah, cool.
Hemlock, I tried to smite him with the Hemlock, but rolled a 4, so I failed the smite. And then, but he managed to smite him on a 6.
Yeah,
and I got
just barely.
So he's down to 1 wound.
Got him down to 1 wound.
And that's it for the second phase.
And that's it. So come back to you with the shooting phase with all these giant robots and jets.
Well, the Hemlock killed the captain.
Where'd he go? Oh shit, he's gone. And over here.
You
managed to kill a single Terminator.
A single Terminator after a lot of shots.
A lot of shots. A lot of good saves.
And over
here, you rolled 12 shots on this guy with the plasma. What was it called?
Plasma missiles.
Plasma missiles. 12 shots, hitting on 5s. And
actually, he's got a shuriken cannon too.
Oh, here we go.
Roll this very quickly. 3 shots, hitting on 5s, doing nothing.
Nothing. So this lone Hellblaster is still alive. Crazy how that works.
And that's it for the shooting phase.
Yeah. So we'll come back to you with the charge phase.
So the Wraith Knight charged in. Took a few shots. He's down to 10 wounds, though he counts as 20.
Right.
So he is in combat with this unit, and then little brother came in after him.
They're just trying to have a conga line, man. What are you? You're like a killjoy.
And I think that's it for charges.
Yeah, no more charges. So we'll come back to you after this really eventful stomping fest. And lo and behold, they raised their storm shields up and made every single invulnerable save over here. 3-up invulnerable save is a bastard. So with that, I get this objective, this one over here, and my Watchmaster's holding the one over in the corner. So I get 3, and Will gets 2, because this is the bonus one this round. So 2 to 3, and that would make the score 10 to 12. So this last round is like really, really close still. So we'll come back to you after the shooting phase for Deathwatch, or movement phase for Deathwatch. Come back to you at some point. So movement for the Deathwatch. These guys just fell back over into this corner, huddling on this objective. Whatever this thing is, whatever this objective is has to be extremely important because they're in front of giant robots with giant swords. I'm just like, fuck off, we're here. So they've still got the Vanguard vet, so they'll be able to fall back and shoot. This guy stood still. These guys, I just moved the jetpack dude over here to keep them kind of in coherency. My Hellblaster dude just moved up just like on top of the objective and in front of the Watchmaster. That guy stood still, and I move and advanced these guys in here so just the frag cannon guy can shoot now. And that's it, because we're running out of stuff to actually do anything with. So we'll come back to you after the shooting phase with Deathwatch. And also, it goes worth noting, this is the priority objective this turn. Okay, so these guys unloaded into the Wraith Lord over here and got him down to 2 wounds. And then the Leviathan unloaded onto this guy and got him down to 2 wounds. The frag cannon took a few wounds off of this guy with the frag cannon auto-hitting, and then the whirlwind over there finished him off. And then right here, my Hellblaster overcharged and took out this Wave Serpent. So that is that for shooting, and we're into the charge phase, which I don't think there's really going to be anything to charge at all. So yeah, that's going to be it. We'll go back to round 5 for Eldar, and we're gonna call it a round 5. So this is it. This is where we make magic happen.
Our movement phase, turn 5, I advanced these Wraith Blades to beeline them into his deployment zone while still holding this objective. These guys just got into position to try to like close in on these guys. And this Spirit Seer ran up to this objective.
6-inch advance, yeah. Pretty cool.
And that is it for the movement phase.
That's it. That's all there's left. So we'll come back to you after the psychic phase.
Was to originally have this Spirit Seer run up and smite these 2 guys, and thus be able to possibly take this objective. But I managed to roll a 4 again.
Impressive.
So I failed on the smite.
No smite. So 2 guys in there holding the objective, just standing there in the dark. That is impressive. So we'll come back to you after the shooting phase. All right, so what happened over here?
So these 2 wraiths unloaded all of their stuff into this unit and killed
one guy.
One guy. Jetpack. And the guy with the storm shield tanked everything else.
Fucking storm shields, man. Can't believe it. 2 points apiece these days. And that was the only shooting because his Spirit Seer? Advanced. So he couldn't shoot, and these guys also advanced to get in my deployment zone. So, yeah, so now we're into the charge phase. Do you want to just do this now?
Yeah. All right, so, sure. Wraith Knights charging.
Okay, cool.
Actually, we'll go with the Wraith. Yeah, Wraith Knights charging.
Okay, cool. I think it's kind of the same thing either way because it's just toughness 8, toughness 8. Yeah. Cool, so the frag can's doing 2d6 auto hits. That is going to be 5 auto hits. Been rolling pretty low for that tonight, so that's kind of cool. And then winning you on 5s, rerolling 1s because of my chapter tactic. So 2 wounds at AP -1.
4 up. And the Wraith Knight dies.
Shit.
Let's see if he blows up.
That is good. Yeah, let's see if he blows up. He does not blow up.
All right.
Holy shit. The frag cannon killed him in Overwatch with, like, not even that many hits. Fuck. Okay. What's next? Let's do this.
All right. So Wraith Lord is doing the same thing.
Okay. So 2d6 auto hits. Cool. A little better. 7. 4, 6, 7. Winning you on 5s, roll 1s. Roll is 1. No, so 2 so far. And, yeah, AP -1 on 2 wounds.
4 up. Made them both.
Made them both, okay. So the Heavy Flamer's next for 5 shots. And he's winning you on 5s, roll 1s. 1 wound, AP -1.
4 up. Made it.
Made it. And then the Heavy Bolter, 3 shots, 6s. Made 1. Wounding you on 5s again. That's a wound, AP -1.
Made it.
Made it. Okay, and Storm Bolter is the last one. 6s. 1 hit. Winning you on 6s. No wounds.
All right.
Take him in there. Oh, wow. Surprise, surprise, he made it in.
Yep.
So that is the charge. We'll come back to you after we do the fight. And the end of the fight phase, hey, they're finally all dead. So,
the Wraith Lord cleaved all 3 Space Marines in half. Managed to get the Storm Shield first.
One fell swoop, and the Storm Shield took the first one. Over here, I get this objective still, though, because these 2 veterans. He gets Linebreaker for swinging these guys over here and getting this objective, though. So he gets 3 to my... Yeah, so even killing them, you denied me Linebreaker on that, too. So over here, I get 1, 2, 3, and then 4.
Actually, you get Linebreaker for this guy.
Oh, yeah. So I would be up to actually 18 points. So the final score is 13 to actually 18.
And a lot of those points came in the last round of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, Will, what do you think, man? What do you think about the Deathwatch?
Deathwatch are nasty.
They're pretty nasty, man. There's a lot of just like invulnerable saves and tricks.
Plus the with the new Bolter
drill.
Bolter beta roll where you can shoot all of your rapid fire stuff at full range. That's actually pretty nasty.
Yeah, that's gross. It's absolutely gross. And this is the first time I've played a pure Deathwatch list in a while, and it did well. So it was kind of swinging back and forth a lot, but I think that the Whirlwind's still alive, so there's that. I was absolutely terrified of these guys. These guys came out, and I was like, oh no, I forgot about the Wraith Blades. Oh, fuck. And they just like mowed down a whole squad, which was good, but then I think like by the time they came in, I was so far away from them that they kind of just had to like trudge towards them. They're like Blightlord Terminators. They come in, and if they're far away from stuff, they don't do anything.
Yeah, they're just stuck here in the middle, twiddling their thumbs.
Yeah, exactly, spinning their axes around. So yeah, that is that. I've managed to take the knight out in the last turn, so that's kind of a minor win for me. So yeah.
Other than, winning the game.
Other than winning the game, yeah. My main objective, honestly, was just to kill the knight, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that is that. I hope you guys had fun watching. I really had a great time playing this game. So, yeah, thank you for watching.